My name is Laura Werlin, and I am the author of 6 books about cheese. My latest book is called Mac and Cheese, Please. So today we're going to make a winter greens mac and cheese. So I have some olive oil heating in here, and now I'm going to add some chopped kale. You could add collard greens, you can add chard, anything that's kind of bitter and wintry. And then I'm going to squeeze some garlic in here as well. Maybe, if I can get it out of there. And then I just want to get this cooked through. Eventually it's going to get added to the mac and cheese, but for now I just want to make sure that gets cooked through. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, like that, because you want to flavor the greens independently. Even though there's going to be plenty of flavor in the mac and cheese, it's important that the greens get their own seasoning too. All right, so while that's cooking, I'm going to finish my sauce and macaroni. So here I have a white sauce, and what that is butter that you melt, and then you whisk in flour and cook those together for a little bit. Then you add milk and cream and salt, and that's our base for the rest of this kale mac and cheese, or winter greens if you want to call it that. So first, now that the sauce is thick, you want it to coat the back of a wooden spoon as it's doing here. I'm adding fontina cheese, a lot of it, because you want a mac and cheese to be cheesy. And I want to make sure that that melts before I add the rest of my ingredients. So keep stirring it. Actually, while that's melting, I'm also going to add a little bit of nutmeg, because I just like the way the nutmeg feels, or actually the way it tastes and feels as I'm grating it. Here we go. Nutmeg and greens are the perfect pair. They really are. So that's why I'm adding it. Oh, I wish there was smell-o-vision. You could smell how that nutmeg, it's like a warming spice. It's just perfect with winter greens. All right, I want to make sure that this gets melted, the cheese, before I add the pasta. All right, turn it up just a bit, make sure that happens. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm going to add the pasta. Whoops, one flew out. There, it's back in now. And I'm also ready to add the greens that we sauteed. Looks kind of Christmassy in a good way, or at least wintry. All right. Now, get that all stirred around. And you know, just for good measure, I'm also going to add parmesan cheese. I just like the way that adds a nuttiness, a little bit of saltiness, and a lot of flavor. Now you can see how cheesy that is now, which of course is the point of a mac and cheese. All right, now looks like the pasta is well coated with the cheese and the white sauce, and I'm gonna put it into the baking dish, and then there's one last step. So for the last step, we put fresh kale right on top. And what happens is, in the oven, it gets super crispy and super delicious too. Now we're ready to go. Now I'm ready to put it in the oven, and I've put it on a baking sheet so that if it bubbles over, it'll bubble over onto the baking sheet instead of onto my oven. And now I'm going to cook it for about 25 minutes. With mac and cheese as the ultimate comfort food all year round, it's particularly good in the winter with winter greens. And here we have the winter greens mac and cheese. I'm Laura Werlin.